Hello, and welcome back to Drippy Drez. I'm sure you're all very excited to hear about the epic Agatha All Along episode 5. And yeah, I have to say I was blown away. I really liked how they incorporated some comedy into it. I really liked how they did Agatha's trial in the middle, being that she's the main character, because I don't know, just something about having her be the last character they do the trial on, like that would have been a little bit too predictable. Whereas like having her in the middle is nice, you saw what two witches were like before her, and then you're gonna see the other two after her. Um yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that it turned out not to be Mrs. Hart, but I mean it is what it is. I mean, I guess they're just doing whatever they think is best for the story. At first, I didn't really like how who I believe is Billy was all like, "Oh, you killed her, it's your fault." I mean, even though she didn't, her mom was the one possessing her body. I mean, well, now we know why she went evil. And I was surprised by what Billy did by burying them after she was like, "Oh, you're just like your mother." But that really makes me think that in WandaVision, she was trying to do something good because, like, I don't know, maybe, like, she kind of saw how emotional Wanda was and, like, she saw that she could have turned out to be evil. Like if she got a hold of the diary, and maybe like she was just trying to prevent her from ever getting a hold of that diary in the first place. Like, and who knows, maybe that wasn't even a real dog. Or who knows, maybe it was sick and she was just trying to do the right thing. Or maybe that dog is still alive and that one was a fake, that the dead one that they found. Or maybe the dog was fake all along, so like she didn't really kill off anything. But yeah, I like what the Green Witch said earlier, that she's oh, she can't be with her mom. Like that really does hint that she's actually good. And yeah, I really liked how I actually really like how he's blue, because I don't know, just having him be red, like that wouldn't really be that interesting. Like, oh yeah, he takes that much after his mom, but then no, instead he's blue. Like that kind of makes you wonder why he turned out to have blue powers instead of red. I really hope that this means that somehow both of the boys are still alive, and who knows, maybe Wanda is even still alive. I mean, that would be nice. Because man, I really loved WandaVision. I really loved all the characters, especially Billy and Tommy. I really and I really think that this is Billy, because not only because of this episode, but I mean, if they're gonna have Hulkling in the MCU, I mean, you gotta have his love interest, and his love interest is Billy Maximoff, so I really think that this is just the direction the MCU is going in, and I really hope they bring back Mrs. Hart. That breaks my heart that they would kill off a little old lady. I mean, come on. She was adorable, the way she liked wine. Yeah. Well, this sucks. I mean, I've already covered everything in 4 minutes. You see, this is why Marvel needs to stop releasing just one episode at a time. I mean, my gosh. I mean, I should be able to talk about a full episode for 10 minutes without running out of things to talk about, but I can't because it's too short. You see, Marvel, I hope you're listening to this right now, and I hope you're thinking, you know what? He's right. We should be doing more than one episode at a time, because that is the right thing to do. Even if it really is just for this podcast, we should release at least 2 episodes a night. Yep. Well, on the bright side, this will be one of those rare times where Marvel released one episode a night, and I had something else to talk about anyways. Tomorrow, I am releasing a rap song on implicit biases, and for those of you who don't know what they are, you know how, like, sometimes, like, accidentally you associate certain qualities with with the rich and the poor, or even, like, sometimes, males and females, because let's face it, even in 2024, most guys, they want to respect women's rights, they want to label themselves as feminists, and, they want to respect women, they want to liberate women, and they want to treat them like people. And, even of course, most women, they obviously believe in women's rights, but even most women believe in men's rights too. But let's face it, gender stereotyping still hasn't left today's society. We still often associate certain traits with masculine traits. We still associate certain traits with feminine traits, and it's kind of like, when is this ever gonna end? What can we do as a society to help, create, to help, end these stereotypes and create a society in which men and women are equal, and, like, anyone can have any personality regardless of their gender. And this song that I'm about to come out with, called Implicit Bias, or I might change the name to Implicit Biases, we'll see, I still got a day to think about it, is a story of a time where I had this implicit bias, and when asked a certain question, I answered very different than what most people would answer, and it was due to an implicit bias that I had. And I hope that in coming clean and, admitting to what I did and, like, sharing it with the whole world, I encourage other people to do the same thing, because in admitting to having these implicit biases, we can all be more motivated to end them, to get down to the reason on why we have them, why we associate, these traits as feminine traits or these traits as masculine traits. And we can hopefully create a society where they no longer exist. Well, thank you for listening to Drippy Drez, and if you know someone that skipped past this podcast because they're not into Marvel shows, but you want them to hear this so that they understand my next song better, feel free to send the last, I think it was 3 minutes of this video to them, and make sure that this message gets out there somehow. I am not going to coddle and baby my fans. I'm not going to go back and make sure that it was the last 3 minutes. No, if you don't want to take my word for it, you're going to have to go back and listen yourself. Thank you for listening to Drippy Drez. Feel free to hit that like and subscribe button, and feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below.